SEN football for self-wealth. Trade the ASX for a fixed fee of $9.50 per trade, regardless of trade size.
Welcome back to Docklands Roof Close. Tight game. Not one to spend too much time reminiscing about the opening half, but it is tight, and there's a lot on the line for these two. The Bombers, 4-8-32, Melbourne 4-6-30, David Schwartz, Danny Frawley, Nick Del Santo and Andy Marr, 11-16 SEN Sunday footy for Toyota's Good for Footy program. Proud supporters of local legends everywhere. And Subway, the Angus Beef Patty Sub from Subway, available at participating Subway restaurants. Brent Anderson, of course, part of the team, as he always is for Totally Workwear. Get what you want and get back to work. BA, any news from downstairs?
Nothing on the injury front for both teams, boys. A clean bill of health reported for both Essendon and Melbourne. I was pretty keen to watch a game with a high skill level at half-time, so I watched all the grid games going around the outside, and there were some players there who are outshining a few of the players here at AFL level, but hopefully the skill level can certainly pick up in the second half. It just looks like at ground level that Essendon have at least got a few marking targets forward of the footy who can do some damage, where Melbourne probably don't quite have that at the moment, and the way that they're using the ball for both teams isn't aiding either forward line.
Good man. Be interesting to see if Melbourne try and find a way of rectifying that. We'll have a look at their early setup. Doesn't look like they've pulled any rabbits out of the hat. Spud down there, Danny Frawley and Nick Del Santo for first-rate car loans.
No, I was... Michael Hurley's the one. If they can just engage him, maybe it is Petrarca. He was on Petrarca early, but as soon as Michael Hurley went to Kennedy Harris, they just couldn't get past him, and that's going to be the big issue, how they get through Hurley, because he's the best player on the ground at the minute.
So the third quarter not too far away from getting underway here for self-well. Trade the ASX for a fixed fee of $9.50 per trade, regardless of trade size. Not very friendly out there. I just saw them walk back out, and Petrarca and Hurley giving each other a little pat on the bum and saying, good luck, mate.
They did that walking off at half-time. I thought they were almost laughing at each other about how poor the standard had been. That it was almost a bit jovial.
It's not real edgy.
No, there's absolutely no
edge. The tackling has been okay. There's no ferocity at the contest. That's the thing that and the crowd have lacked it as well, because they're sombre. Fire up, guys.
Oh, very sombre mood here at Etihad Stadium. Goddard, though, went to get it out of the middle, but he had his kick smothered. They jump on top of him, and we'll have a ball up.
That's a good way of putting it, Spud. There is no edge to this game at all.
And you've got Hooker and Danaher, so they're going to be the keys. They're not going to get any smaller. We know Danaher's kicked the six behind, but just keep pumping it in there, something will happen.
Bellchambers got the tap down, may not get it out. Coming through was Peterson. Good work now. Bernie Vince tried to come through. Lewis put his head over the footy. Melbourne running with the ball now. Jones got to pick it up. He did. Good tackle there by McGrath, who was in Spud's top 5, and Nick Del Santo had a bottom 30. If you've just joined us, 30 players that couldn't hit the target in the first half. Turnovers are plenty. Tapped out now. Zachy Merritt tried to get it. Now Heppel. He's a pretty clever player, and he got it out to his teammate McNeese. McNeese goes on to the left, gets it up the field. Good punch away there by McDonald. And Hooker came at the footy, gave it to Zachy Merritt. He wants to keep it alive and tried to handball it underground and out of bounds.
If you're listening at home, there's probably, 38,000 here?
I reckon there's more.
Probably more?
Yeah, the top level's full, Spud.
All right, let's call it again, 44,000. I've never heard a crowd as quiet from the start of a third quarter when there's only 2 points difference in the game.
Spot on.
Good work there by Bellchambers. Got the tap away, gets it inside, but sitting back was McDonald, and this has been the whole story of the afternoon, just sitting back on half-back. He gets it out wide to Salem, and they're away here, the Demons.
So he swings onto that left, runs through defensive 50, goes down the line looking for Jaden Hunt. Matty D stands there. Zaharakis gets the hands off the pack. Just another poor kick from David Zaharakis. Sets a task to McGrath, who shakes off the Gala tackle way too easily. Drives it in towards centre half forward. Pack fly down at ground level. Vince gets the handball to the run and carry provided by Hibbert. Sweeping handball to Neil Bullen. Had to go backwards again to Oliver. Backwards to Lewis. Lewis pokes it over the top to Hibbert. Hibbert fell over and then tried to jump up like a sprinkler. Couldn't take the mark. The kick was a 25-metre one from Lewis. Missed him by 5. Zaharakis hits green, 55. Plays on straight away. Too much toe for Lewis. Runs, he's fully allotted. Top of the square. Oh, good defensive work from Tom McDonald.
Outstanding.
Fantasia had that mark clunked off hands through for a point.
Why wouldn't you go long? Great score, but why wouldn't you go long to Danaher?
Or he kicked the goal.
You know why? Because he bounced it inside 50. And you only bounce it inside 50 if you're going to run it up. You've got to get the ball in quick. Demons now, they go up towards centre wing, up to Petrarca over the top of his head. Hannon comes up with the footy. He shrugs one. He balks. He gets around a couple. Gives it to Oliver, who goes back by hand. to Pedersen. Now to McDonald on halfback. They got runners everywhere. They just got to move it on now. They do to Salem, right in the centre of the ground. He's got a few players loose everywhere. And he'll go to one. Oh,
well
beautiful.
Done,
Neil Bullen gets it over the top, and Jeff Garlett will put it into the third row. Good movement by the D's. He's got his second. And Melbourne move on to 5-6-36. Essendon 4-9-33. That's on the Identifiber scoreboard, Spud.
Well, Neil Bullen, he had a look to see what was coming, and he knew that Bagley was coming, but he still went, and that's courage.
Yeah.
It's okay to keep your eye on the ball, but he knew he was running into an area where there was oncoming traffic. But you've got to ask the question, why did Bagley go to ground?
Why did he go to ground?
Well, look,
he could have put
we
him
want
in
to play
next year if he
fair, but
wanted
this is what
to.
I'm talking about. This game, it's as if they don't want to hurt each other. Bagley had an opportunity to give him a good shirt front legally and put him into orbit, but Bagley went to ground at the contest, so I can't work it out.
Zach Merritt from the restart to Watson. Watson to Gleeson cruising by. He misses the short ball to Hooker. Good enough to wrap up Lewis with the tackle. He's good enough to get a quick boot away. Watson stands up, dispossessed, holding the ball.
He looks really
He's off, isn't he?
You know, he's probably one that could have had the rest.
No doubt.
5-6-36, 4-9-33. SEN Identifiber scoreboard. Hunt runs, draws the tacklers, goes over to Pedersen on the bounce. Outer side centre wing, comes back to the logo. Salem. Generally a good user. Goes short to Lewis. Still in the centre square. He spreads it now. Jetta provides the run off half back. Gets the footy in front of Danaher. Shakes the would-be tackle. Gives it to Tommy McDonald. Great stuff, Joe Danaher. Tom McDonald was slow, invited the smother. Danaher good enough to provide it. Chance now for the D's again. Melksham couldn't take the handball from Viney. Runs himself into a bit of pressure. Now the man cutting through there for the Demons was Hannon. Around the body, into the pocket. D's played a terrific game for the Bombers. The handball was poor. Put him under pressure. McNeese's handball to McGrath had him right under the hammer. Live ball. Viney. Here they come. Oliver. Tom McDonald.
Oh, Tommy!
Goal.
He's gone forward.
Out of nothing.
That was Viney.
Chisholm and Game and goal of the day.
Wherever you go, say hello.
His never say die from from Jack Viney was amazing. 6-6-42 Melbourne, 4-9-33 Essendon. This quarter for Southwell trade the ASX for a fixed fee of $9.50 per trade, regardless of trade size.
Del, Tom McDonald had it in his plan to get the ball smothered by Danaher, because then he ran forward and kicked the goal.
Do you see what type of kick he kicked the goal with?
Inside out barrel.
That was the biggest high floater you've ever seen. But
yes.
no, well done. And he is playing as sort of that extra, so he is trying to get down forward as much as he can to make Essendon defend. So well done, Tom.
Bell Chambers up against Peterson. Peterson wins it on this occasion. Got it down to Viney. Slams on his boot, gets it inside, attacking 50. Good contest. And going back, taking a wonderful grab was Mitch Brown over Hannon, who just got himself under the footy. Brown now deep in defensive 50. Plays on. Gets it out wide to a 2-on-2. They'll fly for the footy over the top. McDonald didn't get a purchase on it. Hooker did though. Got the footy. He got no one to go to. No one at all to go to. So he goes long and wide and out of bounds on the full. And that was just a bit of pressure, Nick.
Well, you know what it is, Ox? It's understanding what is in front of you as well at times. If you are going to take a mark and you're on centre wing or on your half-back line, you don't need to play on instantly. Even if there is a runner calling, you have the ball, you're in control of the game. Take your time. Let your forwards get back into position. Otherwise, you put your team under pressure and you kick it out of bounds on the full.
How many out in the fulls we had today? This could be a record.
About half a dozen.
Lewis goes backwards to Frost. Melbourne taking their time here. Oscar McDonald marks out of side of the ground. They've kicked the last 3 goals here. Sunday footy for Toyota's Good for Footy program and Subway. Again, speculative kick into a 2-on-1, but Tom McDonald, who's come into the game a bit here, takes the mark, gives it to Frost. He's an athlete, runs through centre wing, out of side, into a 1-on-1. Garland, good stuff. Bagley, play on. They both laid arms on one another. Pedersen to Watts, on the left, Jackie Watts kicks the goal. Melbourne have kicked 4 in a row. Watts has got 2, and they start to make their move here, the D's. 7-6-48 Melbourne. Essendon 4-9-33, but Young 7 and a bit minutes into the third quarter for South Wealth.
Well, for one of the very few times in this game, we see Frost using his legs. Didn't want to kick it straight away. He said, no, I'm going to take this, put it under the arm, runs, has a bounce, and he actually kicked it long. Found a 1-on-1 deep. Jeffy, Garland and Bagley, 1-on-1, 20 out from goal. and God forbid it creates a contest and the small forwards can come into it. Little handball outside to Jack Watts, who's working hard, and they finally get a couple in a row. We might have a little bit of a game on our hands.
Back in the middle now. Opportunity. Bell Chambers should be making more of his chances, being as tall as he is. Hasn't had a real influence. He was in the bottom five, wasn't he?
It's hard to get a touch in this game with the amount of possessions they do in this day and age, but just one disposal. He's had one handball.
He wouldn't bruise a grape at the moment either, Tom.
Has he had a tackle?
No, he's just going, Tommy.
No. One tackle, sorry.
One tackle.
One tackle.
He's in the game. Peterson comes out. Didn't quite get it away, but Salem got it and gave it to Tyson. And now they're running to McDonald, who's got himself involved in the game. Watts in one-on-one. He goes up. Almost wasn't tunnel, but certainly lost his legs. Coming through now for the Bombers. They're trying to keep it alive. McDonald will go back, and he's also playing half forward. Tom McDonald, 70 from home. He'll drive it inboard. Long, and puts it up. Gives his forwards an opportunity. Petrarca's one of them. Ball hits the ground. Watts doesn't quite pick it up on this occasion. Good little tap away. Parrish got it. Sloppy hands though. Zaharakis under pressure. Bernie Vince is there with him. Now Petrarca picks it up. Lost it. McDonald's everywhere. Got his own footy out there at the moment. Gives it to Jack Watts. Gets away and just sets up the play back to Frost. This is going to be nervous times. And he clears and gets it back to Oscar McDonald.
He did nicely. He was under a bit of pressure, as Dell said, in the back row. Chance now. Melksham runs to 55. Drives it in towards the open goal, but he misses to the near side. Goes through for a behind.
Taking the game on now, Melbourne. It's exciting.
Melbourne 7-7, 49, Essendon 4-9, 33 on the SEN. Identified by scoreboard asbestos and hazardous materials. Risk management services.
Well, the Bombers coming off a 5-day break. The second half was the question that the boys were asking about. They bring the ball into Zaharakis. How are their legs going to be? Zaharakis in defensive 50. He looks up. No movement at all from the players. He's going to have to go long down the line. It's a bit of a shank kick. Bell Chambers. Yes! He's involved. Got a possession. Got it out towards Goddard, who's running now. Jaden Hunt's chasing him and almost got him too. Poor kick coming through with Salem. Didn't quite get it. Green wrapped up. Good tackle. Good enough to get his handball away though. Coming through Collier, he's wrapped up. Melbourne's intensity's gone up in level. Poor handball back to Salem, who was wrapped up. Shocking handball. In fact, it was a shocking call from Salem because he wasn't going to go there, and he honoured the call and will have a ball up on half back. Talk me through that.
Oh no, he's red hot. It's red hot.
Talk about Tom McDonald. He's had a career best 9 touches at the start of this third quarter.
It's 9 for a game normally.
Yeah, 9.
There we go. Well, the Bombers have got it back now. Zachy Merritt, free kick will come back.
Advantage.
And the umpire said, no, I'll pay the advantage, and they'll get it out here to Bagley in the centre of the ground. He's got to run it too, and that's McKenna. He's off. He'll go inside attacking 50 where the tall timber is. Frost will fly, so will Danaher. Ball hit the ground. Collier's there. So is Hibbert. He chases. Salem's got Green. Now they get it out wide. Really good play here by the Bombers. And it was Howlett who snapped and missed to the left, the near side. Behind.
He's got Heppel and Tippenwoody at the top of the goal square. They were 2-on-1 and they both had their arms in the air,
They've
saying,
been a little bit selfish, the forwards,
just
haven't they?
put it into a dangerous area and let us do some work as well.
So Bernie brings it back in. Vince to Neil Ball, and it was a tough 1-on-1. Goddard out the back to Parrish, who's been quiet. McGrath on the numbers, goes one way then the other. It was a great step, Spud. Top of the square, big pack off hand through from behind. Melbourne 7-7, 49. Essendon peppering away the last couple of minutes, 4-11, 35. SEN identify the scoreboard, asbestos and hazardous materials. Risk management service has gone 11.5 minutes. Air conditioning warehouse sales clock.
Just makes the right decisions, Andrew McGrath. Under a little bit of pressure, puts it to the top of the goal square. It's almost like someone's had a bit of work with him, maybe even before he came to AFL level with his skills and decision-making, Spud.
Salem plays on, goes to him. He wanted to go in short, then he decided to go halfway. Good tackle by Bell Chambers on McDonald, and we'll have a free kick.
Who would have helped young McGrath?
Oh, I don't know. We might have lived in the same street for a period of time, and he might have
pumping yourself.
He might have looked up to me as a young fella, Spud. I'm not sure.
Nip it in the buttocks.
Bell Chambers drives it inside, attacking 50. They fly. Joey Danaher takes a chest mark to It is a wonderful, wonderful,
He plays
wonderful
on.
mark. He plays on and snaps. He's
seven.
now kicked 7 straight.
He's one off the record, Ox.
And the
He's got
umpire
it
says
again.
you've got to come back.
Oh, no.
So he's kicked zip 6. He's going to have to kick again. The worst on record since 65 is 0-8 in the same game. That belongs to Mick Byrne, who I know you played on Spud, former lanky man from the Hawks,
21.
versus Melbourne 1985, and Roger Dean from the Tigers against Hawthorn in 1972.
Well, he's lucky because he now gets another opportunity. Would have been one kick off it, so the umpire said you've got to come back over your mark. So what's he going to do, Ox? He'll go around the corner. He's going around the corner.
He's got to snap.
It's definitely a Glenn Cameron group mark.
I think he'll kick this one.
He's got the yips.
This is his easiest shot. There it is. Look at him.
And Joey Danaher kicks his first of the afternoon.
That's a relief.
He's got 1 goal, 6. That's right, 1 goal, 6. And the margin is back to 8 points. Essendon 5-11-41, Melbourne 7-7-49. And he celebrated like he just won the gold medal in the 100-metre sprint to the crowd. He liked it. It was a good mark, though. It was a Glenn Cameron group mark of the day. Yeah, on the chest, in fact, there was 3 players, Hibberd, Oscar McDonald and Frost, who all had freshies. And a good kick there by Joey Danaher.
Now, Ox, you kicked more goals than anybody in this box. What's he going through? What's going through his head?
He doesn't trust himself at the moment.
Simple as that.
Yep.
Just not sure what's going to happen.
No, he's trying to steer them and stab them, and I reckon the best place for him at the moment's in the ruck.
I think it was good that he turned to the crowd.
Yeah.
It was actually good for him because
So
he
laughed it off.
Yeah, he did. It was good.
He's back in the ruck, gets it to Zach Merritt. Overrunning the footy was Parrish. The handball was poor. Put him under pressure. Jack Viney goes through the traffic, buys a bit of space, shares the footy out wide with Tyson. Tyson gets it to Watts. Watts runs to 55, has to get rid of it. Top of the square, going back is Brown. At ground level, Garland. Kennedy Harris. Kennedy Harris puts it out to Jones. Great stuff from Heppel. Brilliant. Petrarca!
He's a beauty. Isn't he a ripper?
He just stood there like a strong man. Got the footy in the mess and kicked the goal. That's his third.
He's a bull.
He's
an absolute bull. His legs. He's got short little stumpy legs.
Hey,
Spud,
should see his brothers.
Yeah.
His brothers' legs are twice as big.
But have a look at this. Have a look at the Chemist
about the
Warehouse
same size.
replay here. Talk us through it, Del, what he did.
Well, it was great work by Brown coming back with the flight of it to create the contest. A little bit of hustle and bustle, top about 10 out. He's just spun out of a tackle. He was almost too big. He said, you can try and tackle me. He accepts the tackle. He picks it up. He's facing the wrong way. It was young Andy McGrath. He's probably half the weight of him, to be honest.
But how was the protection? He had it on one arm.
He is a bull.
Everybody else has fallen over.
Yeah.
He just stayed.
And he looked
upright.
really proppy before the match on that knee of his too. Up they go. Danaher wins it down on this occasion. Watson falls over. Gets it out now. Gets it right out now. Now Tippermoody was there. Hunt, he missed it. He didn't pick it up. Parrish did. He got it and drove it inside attacking 50. This is danger because Hooker's got the ball over the back of McDonald and took the mark and kicked the goal. And the game has opened up here at Etihad Stadium. And the Bombers have got 2 in a couple of minutes with a Petrarca goal in between. Essendon 6-11-47, Melbourne 8-7-55. That's on the SEN identifier scoreboard.
Well, the last 4 goals, Del, have been long kicks to about 20 metres out, and I think both sides are knowing their skill level's just not on today. So get some yardage, get some territory, and Essendon probably hold the upper hand on that because they've got Danaher and Hooker. But gee, Melbourne are running the ball well, and it's great to see the game opened up. We've nearly had just as many goals scored in this quarter as the first half.
SEN Chemist Warehouse replay. Spoil Mum this Mother's Day with Luminous by Gina Liano. Just $39 at Chemist Warehouse. A real house of fragrances. On the replay, Jaden Hunt fumble and overrunning the footy was costly. Essendon good enough to finally take advantage.
Joe Watson's been moved on ball. He's just had the 9 touches. 6
flat.
kicks and 3 handballs. He definitely needs to get involved in the game. They put him on ball. Let him get his hands on the footy around a stoppage.
Danaher climbs over Pedersen, who gets it at ground level. Hacks it inside forward 50. Petrarca brought to ground. Hurley on his hammer. Couldn't take the mark at ground level. McKenna flips it out the back to Zach Merritt. Quickly onto the boot. Danaher takes the mark. True centre half back in the ruck. Handball needs to bounce for Howlett. It does. Got someone cruising by. That's Gleeson. Gleeson's got the man further out. That's Collier. Kick just inside the boundary line. Hits the... He signalled to Frost that he was going to play on. It wasn't real heads-up footy from Collier, and Frost is good enough to lay the smother.
He's got very quick closing speed, hasn't
He was
he?
good there. He's twice the size of...
How many times do you get the ball smothered?
In my life?
Yeah.
Oh,
Not many.
Very rare.
Enough,
I can't remember.
Yeah, not many.
Pedersen.
Gee, I reckon it's dumb if you get the ball started.
But he had signalled the fact that he was going to kick it so early, and it took so long to get the ball to boot that.
My theory with when you get the ball, it's so hard to get it, you may as well try and keep it. So get back off the mark, find your next target. You're not in any rush.
Ball up, 50 out from the Bombers' goal. Pedersen climbs high. Gleeson gets it at ground level in front of Parrish.
Good grab.
Very good mark.
Touched.
Off the boot it was. And we'll have a ball up, 45 out from the Bombers' goal.
Tom McDonald leading all possession getters, but your man with 20 touches. Don't think that would have happened many times in his career.
Danaher, Pedersen, Watson, desperate to get his hands on the footy, can't do so in front of Bernie Vince, off hands, out of bounds. Third quarter for Self-Wealth. Essendon 6-11-47, Melbourne 8-7-55. Been going nearly 18 minutes in this term.
He's thrown back in now. Chance for the Bombers. Danaher in the ruck up against Peterson. Over the top, Lewis got his hands free, got it out to Vince. Got the runner in Bug. Slams onto his boot, going back. Oh, good courage there by Jay Kennedy Harris. Slam the ball away. Neil Bullen got to keep it inside. Over the boundary line it goes. And Hurley just giving a bit of a push, Spud.
Just watching Joe Watson, he's had 9 disposals and they're all contested. So 4 clearances, 5 contested ball. The game on the outside, he's definitely feeling the effects of a 4-day break 4.5-day break for the veteran.
Well, the Bombers here had good numbers, and well done to Zaharakis, who got out to Tip and Woody, and they got runners everywhere, and Collier's won. He's into 50 now. Collier's just got to have a shot at goal! Missed to the right. Woo.
That is what he's paid for. He's spread out of that stoppage. He went 20, 30 metres quicker than anybody else. He was lightning, but when you do get it, as we just said about skills, when you get the ball, it's hard. You've got to keep it. Make it pay on the scoreboard for him.
D's by 7 points.
Melksham with the kicking duties. Clears defensive 50. Belchambers stands up, can't take the mark. McGrath read it better than anyone else. To Goddard, to Heppel under pressure, back to Goddard. Threads the handball through to Green. Green hacks it around the body. Good kick, dangerous area. Pack fly, no one can take the mark. Ball at ground level. Tyson coughed it up. Fantasia! Hooked it too far out of bounds on the full.
A lot of urgency in the game now.
Yeah, they've just gone up a notch.
It's for 4 points up for grabs. You don't get any more points to win a game, even on a short day break. So they know that there's a real chance to take a win here today, both teams now.
Hibbard drives it out of defensive 50. Belchambers flies off hands in front of Hannon, out of bounds, about 80 out now from the Essendon goal. 6-12-48, the Bombers 8-7-55, Melbourne. Nearly 20 minutes gone in the third quarter for Self-Wealth. All of those numbers on the SEN Identifier scoreboard.
Who's going to have the legs here on Sunday footy? Good tap down there by McDonald. Gee, Zachy Merritt's still got some wheels. Very, very quick to get that foot in. A beautiful kick inside the hooker, who's marked 6 metres inside the boundary line.
Oh.
He gives it off to Merritt now. Good better side for a left footer, and he's put it out of bounds on the full as he hits the top of the point post. They want to play on at all costs, Del. I know they've been directed to do it, but there's a time and a place. As a full forward or a key forward, if you mark inside 50, go back and slot the thing. Give yourself a chance.
Can't remember seeing Zach Merritt butcher the footy as much as he has today. As Belchambers stands in the middle of a massive pack and takes a Glenn Cameron group mark of the day. That's another Cameron's can-do grab. Drives it in towards the pocket. Who can get up and launch? No one at ground level. Numbers are there with us. Fleet-footed Bombers. Fantasia had a bit of a look at it, but off hands, out of bounds. About 20 out from their goal.
This has been Melbourne's issue for the last couple of weeks. Unable to clear repeat inside 50s. The Bombers are really amping up the pressure at ground level.
They need to hit the board, though. Brett Anderson for totally workwear. They've got the footy in there. They need to find a way. Hooker, Melksham, dangerous defensive ball. 45, McKenna flew high. Couldn't take the mark. Jones from Kennedy Harris to Tyson, weaving back through traffic. McDonald, quick hacking ball out of the congestion. Goddard, it's going to sit for him. No, it doesn't, out of bounds. He and Jack Viney have a bit of a word to one another. I'm sure Jack Viney will be a bit antagonistic. He generally is.
I don't think he'd be too worried.
Throw in. No one gets a hand to it. Neither ruckman really interested in the footy on that occasion. Viney gets it from Pedersen to Lewis into space down the line. As deliberate as you'll ever see. And the umpire says...
Oh, that's the worst call yet.
The umpire says throw in.
That's the most deliberate one of the year.
Yeah, I'm with you, Ox. Hey, Jordan Lewis, highly skilled. Yes, he was 5 metres from the boundary when he kicked it, but he's landed that 30 centimetres from the boundary.
Oh, well done. Peterson, up he goes. Bug got it. Oh, no one went to him. He got it, and he had a shot at goal, and he's missed to the left. Gee.
Last
unbelievable.
Last 10 minutes, 16-8 contested possessions in favour of the Bombers and 10-3 inside 50s in favour of the Bombers.
Well, the margin's 8 points in favour of the D's. That's on the SEN Identifier scoreboard. Proud is good for footy program too, boys. Proud sponsors of local footy, local legends everywhere.
Brown to McGrath to Merritt to Bell-Chambers into the corridor from outside it. Centre half back the Bombers. Short ball to Heppel. Had to stand in front of Pedersen, commit his body. He did. Pedersen made him earn it. Heppel plays on now. Wheels across the ground. Goes to Danaher. Danaher's got a couple of outriders. Turns Hunt inside out. Long ball to the top of the square. It was pretty brainless by you, Joey. You probably had to share it, and unfortunately he didn't. Gave it down the line. Hibberd read it better than anyone else. Took a good defensive mark.
Hibberd, the ex-bomber, who gave it off. Now to Tyson. Tyson goes long up the line. He's looking for McDonald, who's the leading possession winner on the ground. Winner, the footy didn't quite take it. Now Zachy Merritt got it. Went into his right boot and just hoped for somebody. Jeez. And he found Christian Salem at half back. The D's are away here. They've got loose players everywhere. One is Lewis. He's got Garland. Henderson. He's also got Peterson, who's drifted down and marked 30 out directly in front. And he won't play on this time. Spuddy will go back and kick the goal, and he just blew Tom Bell-Chambers' lungs up.
Yeah, it was great gut running from Pedersen. That's why he's there for Ox, not for his ruck work, his craft, his ability to get around the ground. This will be their 5th goal in this third quarter, only kicking 4 goals in the first half at Melbourne. So the game has really opened up now.
All right, Peterson, he missed his first one to the left. Let's see what he can do with his second. Now, he's just got to kick this. Just got to kick it. Comes in, and he has.
Well done.
Straight through the middle. The Demons have their 9th goal. Melbourne 9-8-62 to the Bombers 6-12-48. This quarter for Superwealth. For Self-Wealth. And we've got some wonderful special comments, blokes. They're here most Sundays. Nick Del Santo and
occasionally
Danny Fraud.
Here all the time, Ox.
Well, they make it look easy when they use the ball well, don't they, Spud? That play has been on all game. From the word go, you felt
good, Pedersen.
There was that was his 14th possession. 14 and 1 goal now. He needs to get forward. When the game gets a little bit more tight and players are out on their feet a little bit, holes will open up. He's a one-on-one matchup, and there's not many of them in the game anymore, but when you are the ruck, you've only generally got one opponent to beat. Bell-Chambers will be getting fatigued. Make him work.
So he's back in the middle to contest the restart against Bell-Chambers, who did get over the top of him. Vince's kick was smothered by Heppel. Ball goes Essendon's way. Salem stands up. Viney again, terrific. Melksham got the handball from him. In towards halfway between full forward, centre half forward. Hannon got his man under the footy. Turned him around. Bagley under pressure from Garlett. And they carry the ball across the line. We'll have a throw in. A little bit of how do you do? Bagley generally gets up, wants to have a go at someone in the vicinity. Garlett's the man. He just wants him to leave him alone now. We'll get a throw in. 6-12, 9-8, 14 points the margin. 25 gone, third quarter. Melbourne deep into attack. Pedersen, Bell-Chambers, ground level. Oliver on the hands and knees, can't get there. Fantana, McKenna tries to break the tackle with Garland, and he can't do it. The umpire says your free kick, Jeff.
I'd be blaming Bagley for that, because Bagley rubbed him up and he goes, all right, I'll show you.
2 great tackles, though, weren't they? One to cause the stoppage and another one now. So forward pressure creates opportunities, and there's no better player in the comp than doing that than little Jeffy boy.
He's already kicked 2.
Yeah, been in the game. Not as good from the set shot as he is from around the corner on the fly. But his record from this spot on the ground is pretty good. He hits that very, very nicely. The goal umpire did not move. To make that a Chisholm game and goal of the day. Garland gets his second for the third term, and Melbourne stretch their lead out to 20 points here. 10-8-68 the D's. Essendon 6-12-48, 26.5 minutes gone on the air conditioning warehouse sales clock. Get Melbourne's best air conditioning price at Air Conditioning Warehouse Sales.
As a small forward, you're often starved of opportunity. The ball's not meant to be kicked into you too many times. We've had a laugh at young Green from the Bombers getting in the way. But if you're not going to get your hands on it, you want your small forwards to tackle. Jeffy Garlett's had 3 inside 50 tackles. He's creating pressure, creating secondary stoppages, creates a turnover and a goal. That's a great reward for his effort there.
Bell, Chambers and Peterson. And we'll have it back. I was just watching the two ruckmen prior to the ball being bounced, and it was evident that they are out. Like they've got no energy left whatsoever.
Well, 32 more minutes to go, Hawks. 32.
What Melbourne have done well, though, they've had 12 inside 50s, 8 scoring shots, 6 goals. So they're really making them pay now when they get the ball inside forward 50.
Well, Viney's just picked up the work rate. He just got it away from Watson. He drove it inside, attacking 50. Up they fly, Hannon. Oh, Neil Bullen at ground level. He's looked for an option. He finds somebody, and it's Hannon. It's Hannon. It looked like Watts, but it was Hannon who stood his ground and took a mark. 20 out directly in front. Good play, Alex Neil Bullen.
Centre clearances, Viney, you called it. Ox, how good was that? Out of the middle.
He left Job for dead.
He did, and that's Job, unfortunately. And John Morsfold would have loved to have known how Job was going to feel after the short break.
And Hannon comes in, and he just slots it through. And Melbourne have got their 7th goal for the quarter. They move on to 11-8-74. The Bombers 6-12-48. And this is a bit of trouble here for the Bombers, boys.
Yeah, as we watch the Chemist Warehouse replay, they've also flicked to the Essendon coaching box, and a couple of puzzled faces, because we sat here at half-time, Spud, and we're trying to work out how the Ds were going to score, what they structurally had to do differently. Well, they've evened up the numbers for the ball. They've manned up Hurley. They've shut him out of the game. They've gone man-on-man, 5 forwards versus 5 defenders. They've brought one up around the ground. They've had 13 inside 50s for 7 goals too. 9 scoring shots from 13 entries is a huge number. And
Hurley's got donuts, so really good coaching. And
Duncan.
I think it's, Duncan Donuts. I think it's been Petrarca who's actually minded Hurley too.
Well, can they find something, the Bombers? McDonald, Tip and Woody from the restart to Howlett. In between centre wing and half forward. Drives in towards Danaher. 3-on-1. Danaher goes up, wanted some interference. The call wasn't made. Off the ground, the flying kick. Was that Zach Merritt flying through there? It was. But he couldn't get enough purchase on it. Ball goes out of bounds. We'll have a throw in about 5 metres around from the behind post. Deep into the 3rd quarter. The Bombers need one to give themselves some hope going into 3-quarter time. Can they conjure one up here? Hooker down the front. Green hasn't got enough of the footy. Hibbert around the body, drives it out of defensive 50. Heppel stands under the footy. Neil Bullen went in, made a contest. Vince takes it over and out. 65 out.
One of the Toyota material handling key matchups, Spud. You touched on it. Hurley, Duncan Donuts this quarter, but Trucker's gone to him. He's actually almost manning him up. He's only had the one.
That's good,
but he's done his job. You would say, Trucker, fantastic. Just take him out of the game, sacrifice yourself.
One of those. That one was a goal. Watson from the restart to Collier, to Bell Chambers around the body. Full stretch, Tommy McDonald. Zaharakis was it? It was Green. Around the body, the kick travelled towards the line. Frost dropped one that he should have taken. Taken high. Green is saying that he ducked.
Lucky.
We'll have a look at the Chemist Warehouse.
He didn't duck. He didn't duck.
That's an angry head, Green, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, it's only a head a mother could love.
Green, been involved though. Now the Ds get it and they take it out towards centre wing. They got that. Working it really well was Jeddah. He got that from Tyson. They bring it back inside. Poor kick, but it might pay off here for the Demons because Bernie's running. He'll drive it inside, attacking 50. Jack Watts has got the set. He's just going to go back. He went at the footy, and he might have had his legs taken.
Yeah, he has. Yeah, it was. It was.
Look at this. Let's have a look at it.
It was from the other angle, Del, wasn't it? Normally it's from, and Day's asking the question. I actually thought Day was okay because it's normal tunnelling when you're running at the ball and you get eased under the ball, but because he was running with the fly to the ball,
he's stiff, I reckon.
He's really stiff. Have a look at Day here. Complete eyes on the ball.
Yeah,
that is a Barry Crocker.
Well, that was not good.
Oh,
not good
at
all.
What's the defender got to do?
I ask you, did he take him out of the contest though?
But he never took his eyes off the ball.
He was going the ball.
He's trying to play devil's advocate.
Yeah, but he was going for the ball.
I reckon Jack milked it well.
Jack had held his feet on the ground.
Oh, he's missed. He's slotted through. Gee, it looked like a miss to the right. And Melbourne have kicked another one. That's his 3rd goal, as has Jeff Garlett and also Petrarca. 3-piece from those 3 forwards, which is a handy output. Melbourne 12-80, Essendon 6-12-48. And that's on the SEN identifier scoreboard.
Now, well done, Simon Goodwin, because Hurley started on Petrarca in the 1st quarter. In the 2nd quarter, Hurley took 7 marks, 4 of them intercepts, and because he was on Neil Bullen. No, not Neil Bullen. Forget me. Kennedy Harris, he was. The other hyphen. And he just didn't find it. And Hurley had 14 touches, And you've called it, Del. Hurley has not had a touch, and again, Watts was one-on-one instead of Hurley coming in third man in and gets a shot at goal.
So back in the middle, it's been Melbourne's quarter. They've made the big move in the game. Can the Bombers respond, Vince? It doesn't look like they can to Hunt. If he gets hands on footy, look out. He can't take it cleanly. McDonald tipping Woody, centre back, wrapped up, holding the ball. Advantage not taken. And we'll come back and...
Well, he got knocked over by his own teammate, and then he thought, oh, no, I'm right, and he got up and he just got nailed.
He was wrong.
14 inside 50s this quarter, Melbourne, for 8 goals. Essendon have been in 4 more times, 18 inside 50s for 2 goals. So really hurting them on the scoreboard, the D's, this quarter.
32 points to margin, 32 and 3/4 minutes gone, third quarter.
He might kick a barrel here.
No chance. Nathan
He
Jones
wouldn't
from
get the distance,
55.
surely.
He
was he
actually,
thinking?
geez, hit it pretty well.
Nah.
Right to the very line. Bell Chambers goes in with a big spoil through for 8 behind.
Come on, mate.
Someone's got to get up.
How many times would he kick a goal from there, Ox? Nathan Jones.
1 in 30.
Yeah, I reckon.
Yeah,
lucky.
It had to be in the first minute of the game when your legs are fresh.
12-9-81, Melbourne 6-12-48. Good spoil, let's see in Chemist.
Well, they play on here. Hurley's got his first possession of the quarter, Del. Up they fly. Hibbard went at the footy. Jones got it at ground level as he dropped it. Now Lewis. They go backward to Frost. Now back to Jeddah. Looking for a way out. They might have to retreat and go back to the centre of the ground. They do to McDonald. McDonald's had plenty of the footy. He's going to have to go the ball. Pedersen, don't wait for it, and he did. Coming up at it was D. Did a really good job. Oh, sorry, McKenna, I should say. Now it's 2-on-1, and the umpire says, your free kick.
Well done by McKenna. Left his direct opponent inside forward 50. Saw Pedersen pushing out to the far wing.
I wouldn't have called it pushing. I would call it almost moonwalking. He was just pedalling. The Bombers now.
Pedaling Pedersen.
McKenna up towards McDonald, and he just said no thank you and punched it 15 rows back as Hurley and Hooker both look pretty tired. It's just that extra day recovery, or the extra 13 or 14 hours. It just seems to be a lot bigger of an impost than what we thought. So the D's have had a pretty good third quarter here. They've blown the game open. Plenty of numbers around the footy too, and Tyson on this occasion gets it from the stoppage up towards Hannon. Good work again by D. Ball hits the ground. The Bombers have got numbers back. Hurley will come in for his second possession for the quarter, and they'll be able to clear.
To McNeese, who goes wider still to Bagley. From the member side of the ground here to Collier.
He's got some wheels, hasn't he, Collier?
Works hard, Collier. Gets to the open side all the time. Always working out to the wings.
Fast approaching the third. Garland put him under pressure. Bagley goes all the way back to McGrath. 1-on-1. McGrath has to get clean hands on the footy, then good enough to compose himself and get it back to the man who put him under the pressure in the first place, Bagley, and that's where the comedy of errors started.
Oh, he did it again.
Straight into
he did it twice in a row. Oh, my God.
A couple of howlers there, Mark Bagley.
No. I've seen everything now. I've seen everything.
They're dead set out on their feet here, Essendon.
No,
Three-quarter time couldn't
done.
have come quickly enough. They are going to be hanging on for dear life in this final quarter, you suspect. If Melbourne have got a taste for it, they could really put a score on the board here. At three-quarter time, Melbourne 12-9-81, 8 goals to 2 in the third quarter. Essendon 6-12-48. That quarter went for 35 minutes, which is what? Not what Essendon need right now. They need short quarters done and dusted pretty quickly. 11-16 SEN footy for Toyota's Good for Footy program. Proud supporters of local legends everywhere. And Subway, the Angus beef patty sub from Subway, available at participating Subway restaurants. Back 33-point margin. Back after the break to the final quarter here at Etihad Stadium.